States. Michigan State welcomes 20th ranked Michigan. Hello and welcome to Big Ten Wrestling. I'm Shane Sparks alongside Tim Johnson. Tim, for both these teams, a final conference tune-up, the Big Ten Championships looming just 3 weeks away.
What's an important meet? The coaches are going to take a look at their wrestlers confidence-wise and health-wise. Then they're going to evaluate the meet and come back for the next 3 weeks and fine-tune for the championships.
And in a rivalry matchup with these two teams, of course, Michigan high school wrestling is very deep. This dual meet for recruiting and other reasons, it's important.
It's always big, and you'll see it. There's a big crowd in the stands tonight, and every match counts because of the recruiting. Michigan's got some great wrestlers, and it's important from a recruiting standpoint, as you said. So it's rivalry weekend is always a big weekend.
We'll begin this dual meet at 125 pounds, brought to you by Defend Soap. Defend what you have built in that first half. Looking forward to high school teammates at 149 with Gilcher and Jones.
Well, and at 197, redshirt freshman Remy Cotton's having a good year ranked. He's going up against one of the best, the transfer from Cornell, Jacob Cardenas.
Michigan and Michigan State set to collide here in East Lansing, 125 pounds. Tanafu, redshirt junior from Bismarck, North Dakota. Record of 7-8.
Put on the line, shake hands, gentlemen.
From Set. Michigan native. Record of 9-12. And Tim, as we saw this past Friday night when you and I were doing Ohio State and Penn State, a quick start makes a difference.
Well, it always does. I always say never underestimate the power of a fast start, and we saw it at Cavelli Center with Macron's pin over Lillidahl. But it's every match, and you talk about it, Shane. Spark, it's the igniter at 125 pounds, and 90% of the time that's where we start, and that's the job of a 25-pounder.
Come out and set the tone for your team. Tanafu, a three-time state champion, part of some really good teams as well. They're at Bismarck, part of 4 state team championships and 3 dual meet championships. 4-time Fargo All-American, no score. Tanafu and Wean. We are just underway with the Wolverines and the Spartans. Great level change from Wean.
Huge super duck right there by Wean, and it's so important for the Spartans. Get out front there, and Michigan obviously is favored as a team. You get started like that, huge takedown. Great technique by Caleb.
Wean from Dakota High School, 2-time state champion. Macomb, Michigan. I mean, that was highlight reel stuff. That was sweet.
All the fundamentals there, because he dropped his level and his penetration and motion at the same time. Everything worked together for that takedown.
There's a stall call on Tanafu on bottom.
And I like the way that Caleb has put the pressure on him, because even the look, it looks like he's wrestling hard there, and so he's got the official already. Jason Wedgbury, the official there, is good optics for Caleb Wean.
Riding time over 1 minute. There is another stall call. So there's a point to make it 4-0. Wean 9-12 with 4 bonus point victories. He's got that half Nelson, trying to get off to the side and run it.
Tanafu, a good job staying bellied out, but that's the thing. Tanafu has not even been able to find his base.
Wean coming off a tough loss this past Friday night to Aiden Smith of Rutgers. He fell 4-1 in sudden victory, but he has answered the bell today. Looking to finish this period on top. Final seconds, a claw right sunk in by the Spartans to close the first. 4-0. A great duck up.
Just what the Spartans needed. Look at the drop and around. Really nice job. He saw that Tanafu was leaning a little bit into him, and he caught him there.
Roger Chandler, in his 9th season as head coach, he's been on staff for 28 years. Of course, an all-time great at Indiana, 3-time All-American as a student athlete, Big Ten champion. couple-time All-American, three-time All-American. And Weand and Tanefu neutral here in the second period.
Well, besides everything else, Weand feels confident right now. Goes out, executes probably as good a takedown as he's ever gotten. Perfect execution. Then his top game got the stall calls and 1 extra point. He should continue attacking right now.
Weand, Michigan State Open champion. He was 4th at the Black Knight Invites. Looking for his second Big Ten dual meet win of the season. And a really good start.
Tanefu doing a nice job of moving his feet. He needed to get the action going for a lot of reasons. In on that single leg right there with the shin whizzer defense by Weand. What Tanefu wants to do is get behind those hamstrings and then come up to his feet and face him, but Weand able to drag him out a little bit with that shin whizzer.
There's assistant coach Chris Williams. Been with that program a long, long time.
Yeah, and he means so much. We'll be talking about the state of Michigan a lot, and he has been a coach in the high schools and Division III, and so important to the entire sport. He has developed the high school wrestlers in the summertime. Chris Williams, a great wrestling ambassador.
Tanefu this season, 5th at the Michigan State Open, 2-2 at the Clarion Open. Also wrestled at the Midlands. Short time in the second period, inside of 20 seconds. No scoring up to this point this period. Nice deep shot there from Tanefu, but again, right into that shin whizzer by the Spartan.
And not enough time for Tanefu to finish it off right here. And that was a nice, but he's going in and he's getting caught.
Green.
Sean Bohr-Metz, 7th season as head coach. 2022, of course. Phenomenal season for the Maize and Blue, the Big Ten and NWCA Coach of the Year. The Big Ten champions in 2022. And they were 2nd at the national tournaments held in Detroit that year. He's been phenomenal, coming off a 3rd place finish at the national tournaments last March in Kansas City.
Both
Weand leading at 5-0, early 3rd.
Yep. And Weand being able to control, but Tanefu's been in on the leg a couple of times, but he's just been stopped.
And of course, it goes without saying, Tim, if you are Weand, you are looking for bonus points.
Yeah, and you need to be rolling like he is right there, but he needs to be moving, pushing ahead, pressuring in, finding the angle, getting your offense going.
Straight on shot there from Tanefu. Tanefu with an underhook on the right side. There's that duck gunner once again, but out of bounds.
Chris Williams encouraging Weand, just as you said, Shane, get out there and go. You're 1 takedown away from a bonus point win for the Spartans here in the first match.
Michigan 5-5 overall, 2-5 in the Big Ten, coming off a loss to Penn State that was last Friday night. And for the Spartans, 4-8. They fell to Rutgers, 28-7 this past Friday. The Spartans looking for their first Big Ten dual meet victory of the season. We're down to 45 seconds here in this 3rd period. Couple of level changes there. Here's a shot from Tanefu, but he's just right into those hips.
Right, and now right here is where Weand needs to violently, work on that, find that angle and run around. He's not able to shuck through. And Tanefu has been the only one that's been able to get in on the legs. Except for the 1 duck under by Weand, he has not been able to find the angle. He's been going straight on, but he hasn't been able to attack the legs. There's about the 3rd attempt, but looks like he's going to be able to defend himself well enough, but was not able to get any offense after that great first takedown, but it's going to be enough.
He led it 4-0 after the first period, scoreless in the second, and he adds 1 more in the 3rd. The riding time is secured. It will be a 6-0 decision for Caleb Weand, the redshirt freshman. Improves to 10-12 on the season, picks up his 2nd dual meet win of the season, and it's a good start for the Spartans. They take the early 3-0 lead. £133, Nolan Wharton, a redshirt sophomore for the Wolverines. Andy Hampton, 5-12 record, redshirt junior from Rochester, Michigan. Stony Creek High School, where he was a two-time runner-up. Wharton from St. Joseph, Michigan, the first three-time state champion in St. Joseph High School history. And one theme in this dual meet, Tim, we'll talk about it a lot, is the depth, the talents in the state of Michigan.
It's been for a long time. We saw Kevin Jackson sitting by Sean Bormet, and he comes from the rich tradition of Michigan wrestling. Long time ago, a great Michigan high school wrestler, and we'll be talking about it. But it's deep, and it's been a long time.
Both these guys looking for their first Big Ten dual meet win of the year, so big opportunity, Tim, for both these guys.
Yeah, and Andy Hampton, you know, an opportunity to follow and his teammates win here. Andy's had, we talked about it Friday night. It was a night of almost. Well, Andy Hampton's career has been a career of almost. He's had some nice wins, but some real close losses to some ranked wrestlers, and it's just an opportunity for him to, as we talked about, be tuned up and ready for the Big Ten championships and try to get in a position to qualify for the Nationals.
Hampton spent his first 2 years at 125. It's now his second campaign up a weight here to 133. No score, 60 seconds into this first period. Wharton began the season at 125. He bumped up to 133 after the Cliff Keen in Vegas in early December. He was fourth at the Michigan State Open early in the season, then down at 125. Of course, for Michigan, Tim, big loss with All-American Dylan Ragusin suffering injury. They lost him for the season.
Well, and those are big points, both for the Big Ten and the NCAAs. Little shot by Wharton and fended off by Hampton.
Wharton an underhook there on the left side. Looking for a toss.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, good call by the official there. They go out of bounds, but you know, Hampton, if he's going to, he's got to get in there and do a better job of controlling the position instead of letting Wharton in control. And I think that's the issue. Wharton's been able to dictate the ties he wants. Hampton, if he's going to be able to get another shot to the leg, he's got to dictate the ties, the pace, the pressure. There, now in on that single leg, but there's the head on the mat.
Underneath those hips, you see Roger Chandler coming out of his chair. They felt like happy with what he did to the left ankle.
Yeah, and Wharton brought it up against the joint, and you can't do that. You can bring it straight, but you can't bring it to the side against the joint, and that caused him to be able to not come around. But I think Hampton was stuck anyway down there. And so Hampton not only has to do a better job of controlling his ties and the pressure, but once he gets in on the leg, it's not in and sit, and he's got to be able to come up faster.
Shot there from Wharton. Both these guys with some attacks, but nothing with an angle. Wharton able to work out from underneath. And Wharton really likes those underhooks. He's a junior Greco All-American. So comfortable in those positions. Down to 20 seconds. And a scoreless match here at 133. Caleb Weand got the Spartans on the board with a decision at 125. Final conference dual meet for both these teams. Next weekend, they'll each wrestle Central Michigan before the Big Ten Championships 3 weeks away in Evanston. Scoreless after one. There is Cam Caffey. Always enjoyed watching Cam Caffey. Solid career.
Yeah. Shane, I'm surprised not to see him in a singlet. It's been like forever, you know. I mean, and what a...
I thought he'd be at home writing computer code today.
Yeah,
I mean, he is brilliant.
Yeah. Hampton on top now, trying to break Wharton down. Wharton doing a nice job of coming up, continuing to come up. It's a little hip separation.
Riding time over 20 seconds for Hampton, and now Wharton able to work to his feet and square up.
Yeah, did a really nice job of continuing to move, got hip separation there, got a little hip heist action, and came out for the 1 point. just kept moving. That's the key.
Wrestle through this position.
In these
Wrestle
first two
through it.
matches, Tim, I mean, clear to see these guys are
Stalemate
scrapping.
right there, gentlemen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the opportunity they have, because it's not they know who they're wrestling. It's an opportunity to get a win in each for all 4 wrestlers, and you're not against a top 10 wrestler. It's an opportunity to go out, and we talked about it. Confidence is so big going into the Big Ten championships, and how they wrestle today might have a lot to do where they are in those matches for qualifying for the NCAAs.
Looking for a head throw, Wharton, but not enough real estate. Mentioned his Greco-Roman background. And he's been really good with the ties, comfortable with the underhooks. Went for a head throw. 45 seconds. Wharton with the escape in the second, the only score.
Now he's got to keep those feet moving. Shin whizzer in by Wharton, and he wants to drag him out, but what Hampton wants to do is get behind the hamstring and then face him like he is now, kick him down.
Now he's able to work up, looking to finish and take the 3-1 lead as Wharton continues to defend.
And can Wharton beat the shoulder there, cut the corner, and get his own 3?
Hampton with a really good opportunity as a stalemate is whistled. Did a really good job to work off the shoe tops.
But he just didn't wrestle through the position. You got to wrestle through the position. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, 2, 3 all together, and you can't tell the difference. But Wharton did a nice job of putting himself in a position. If they hadn't called that stalemate, I think Wharton had the best opportunity to score there.
So Hampton will get the choice here to begin the third.
Green, Michigan State, your choice. Neutral.
State Farm, State of Success, brought to you by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Michigan has won 14 consecutive dual meets against the rival Spartans. And Wharton is able to put Hampton on his back. Hampton able to roll through.
Did you have any takedown there?
No takedown. We are coming back neutral. It was great to pick up the conversation there between the 2 officials. You see Josh Churella and Sean Bormet thinking about tossing out that challenge brick, and Churella, in fact, throws the challenge brick, so this will be reviewed. A lot of great action.
You know what I like about that is the confidence that both Churella, he said, okay, what's my job? I think I saw it. And he's challenging the takedown, but look at the confidence that the head coach has in his assistant. I mean, he goes, okay, if you're telling me to, go ahead.
Wharton is dangerous.
And as he comes down there, that's one of those where...
Those 2 words, of course, in wrestling that always get people fired up, reaction time. And a situation right there.
And so the bounce, we saw it the other night when D'Amelio bounced Van Ness. It's kind of the same thing. Bounce here as he continues on. Wow. I mean, that is close. I'd want it as a takedown if I was Michigan.
I would too.
After review, the call on the mat stands is called. There's no takedown. We're neutral.
No takedown.
I just always want to, rolled right through it.
But
well,
I don't know whether he was
right.
planted.
He was planted.
He was first planted.
I don't know whether he rolled right through it, but I always wanted to reward the offensive guy, And so that was close, and they call it no takedown.
And I think another point worth noting is it was not ruled a takedown.
So
initially,
right
points were never
correct.
awarded.
Here we go.
I don't believe.
I don't think they went on. Yeah, they did go on the board. I do remember it. And the official did, and he said, was it? And then he waved it off. And
so he first awarded the 3.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So Jason awarded the 3. And but I'm just still surprised that Andy Hampton didn't take underneath to choose the 3rd and tie it up. because he's good underneath. I've watched him. And so here he is behind, and he hasn't had the opportunity yet.
And he had 22 seconds of riding time built up.
Yeah, so that was curious to me.
So what that tells me is if that's going to be your option, you better have full confidence you're going to get to work on your feet. And the majority of this match has been wrestled in the neutral position with not a whole lot of scoring, obviously.
Well,
not on their feet.
And there's been scoring by Wharton, and it's been wiped out, and it's been out of bounds. But there's been nothing like that for Hampton. So Hampton needs to dig up right now, dig in, and get himself an angle, because he has been on the legs a couple of times. But ear to ear isn't going to do it. There he is again, but nice anchoring down by the hips of Wharton.
Wharton working and defending against Hampton's body lock, and Hampton gets the three on the edge. Keeping that left leg, the left foot inside that cylinder, taking time off the clock.
Right there.
Great job there from Hampton to get to the body.
Underneath, looks for the trip, but he knows where he's at with his head. He uses his head as much as he does. Look at those feet. He knew where he was. Great mat savvy there.
3-1 score down to 25 seconds. Picks an ankle. Situation here, of course, you can give up one, just don't give up two.
And Wharton's dangerous from anywhere. He can turn in, turn into you and throw you. Right like that, you gotta be ready to know that it's one, not two.
One.
There's the escape 3-2 score in the final seconds. And Andy Hampton is going to hang on, the redshirt junior from Rochester, Minnesota. Picks up his first Big Ten dual meet of the season. As Michigan State adds to its lead, they now lead at 6-0. Big win from the redshirt freshman
Put it on the line, gentlemen.
for the Spartans.
Check your hands. Yep.
Krempler from Niagara Falls, New York. Two-time finalist, won a state title. Last season was down at 133 and in on a leg, but shin whizzer from Lemley, but Krempler doing a nice job to elevate, go seatbelt position.
Yeah, right here, I prefer going behind that hamstring and then coming out front like he is, kick down, keep him in the middle, come back to that logo.
Exactly. You got plenty of time in this period, bring him all the way back to the center.
And this is what I thought, you know, the Spartans needed to see was after those first two wins, how are you going to wrestle now? You're going up against a top 15 wrestler in Sergio Lemley, and Krempler comes out, attacks him, but you know, he didn't get to the behind the. Wow, he's still now. What he needs to do here is pull back in. Now Lemley putting a lot of pressure on the head, going to be able to get himself into a position to defend and go back to the middle. But good start by Krempler as far as his energy. Because of that recap right there, you know, Hampton winning. Hey, there's no excuse in not coming out with a great attitude and effort, and that's all these coaches are asking for, because Krempler's certainly not favored in this match.
Lemley from Chesterton, Indiana. He's a four-time high school state champion. Won his first state title at Chesterton, his last three in Illinois at Mount Carmel. Fargo freestyle finalist, heavily recruited out of high school. Fourth at the Big Tens a year ago was Lemley. He was the 8th seed at the national tournament in Kansas City. He was 1-2. And it's been up and down for Lemley this season.
Yeah, he hasn't had to. We know who Lemley is. He's a fierce competitor. I mean, he had that big win over Real Woods. Now Woods in the room with them as part of the RTC of Michigan, which is really cool. But Sergio has not had the year he's wanted so far.
Stalemate, fingers. Stay out of them, gentlemen.
But he's got the talent, and he could make a lot of noise in the Big Tens and end up on the podium. Sean Bormet says nobody can argue with his work ethic. He's a fanatic about wrestling, and his work ethic is second to none.
117th all-time meeting between these two teams. Michigan leading the series 76-35. They have also tied 5 times. The Wolverines have won 14 straight, 16 of 17. Michigan State's in Ann Arbor in 2010 beat the Wolverines 17-15 for their last win in the series. The last time that Michigan State beat Michigan here in East Lansing was back in 2007. And at that time, Tim, the Spartans had a couple of hammers.
Michigan State, your choice.
Remember the Simmons brothers?
Nick and Andy
Simmons? You remember these guys? I mean, Nick Simmons, 4-time All-American. His brother Andy, a 2-time All-American. Nick Simmons, 3-time Big Ten champion. Andy was a Big Ten champion. But how about these stats, Tim? Nick Simmons, in high school, they went to Williamston High School, just down the road from East Lansing, 211-0, 208 falls. Andy was 219-0, 430-0 between those two brothers. That's doing some winning. We remember those guys, TJ.
Yeah, and I know you love this, so I'm going to let you tell the audience, but is Nick's nickname one of the best all-time nicknames in wrestling? Who was he?
The East Lansing Strangler, Nick Simmons. Nick Simmons, 5th at the World Championships in 2011. But here's a great Nick Simmons stat. It's one of my favorite all-time stats. He won the Midlands 3 times. In 3 years, he did not give up a point at the Midlands, with the exception of a penalty point. And Nick will tell you that wasn't the right call, of course. But Nick Simmons in that top position, rocking those double knee pads, he was an absolute machine on top.
And like a lot of people, they'd say, oh, we'll give up escapes. Nick was never going to give up an escape. I mean, you know, he
was like saran wrap. He would just stick to you.
Red.
And there is Nick Simmons.
To avoid scoring.
Took a shot.
Yeah. I know, but if you
what
take
a
the action
career
off to avoid it, that's a stall call. So,
Lemley up 4-1.
And that one's for running off the mat to avoid a call, and he got a stall call on that. Got a stall call, a warning.
Half a minute remaining here in this second period. Of course, Tim, this weight class, Big Ten Championships 3 weeks away, 141 pounds with Bo Bartlett, who just beat Jesse Mendez on Friday. You have Brock Hardy, Vance Vonbar, 4 of the top 8 from the Big Ten in this weight class. Of course, Sergio Lemley.
And Sergio's capable
of
a win among any of those guys. I mean, and there's Sergio, nice single leg there, and finish.
You hear that danger counts. No takedown awarded yet. The danger count reached 2, and time will run out, and the score remains 4-1. Here's Lemley getting to the legs.
Yeah, Lemley gets in on the leg really nice, but you got to give Crumpler opportunity. I mean, the kudos there for, he's going through. He did not get the neutral danger call against him, and he hang on to the leg, and there was no points.
One escape, Green.
So Lemley will give the escape. He wants to work on his feet. Gives us a 4-2 score. Yeah, big win this past Friday right here on the Big Ten Network. Bo Bartlett's defeating Jesse Mendez 4-2. That, in my opinion, Tim, the best rivalry in college wrestling with those two.
Well, it's no doubt right now. And then you add in that weight class with Alirez, and everybody's excited about Philadelphia later this year with those 3.
In Philadelphia in March, of the 10 weight classes, as Lemley tacks on 3 more, 4 weight classes with multiple national champions.
I mean, you're telling me that there are 4 weight classes that at least 2 have won NCAA championships. That's amazing. Shane.
There's a point for Lemley. Another stall call on Crumpler for backing up. Lemley's picked up his pace offensively.
Yeah, I like his energy right now. I like what he's looking to do. He knows he has an opportunity here for a bonus point win. In on the single again, roll through, but he anticipated really nice. Really nice job by Lemley. He just, gave himself a little room, and now he's got a near fall.
Sergio Lemley has Crumpler in trouble. A pin would tie up the team score. Still has that
Same
leg,
hold.
that bottom leg. And now he's going to adjust, Tim. This is trouble for Crumpler.
And he's going to get the chin. Oh, my goodness.
Lemley's got him tight, and there's the slap of the Resolite. We're tied up at 6.
That was just hustle wrestling right there from the start. Lemley got a little slow start in the first period, but he just started, you know, working his hands and working his motion. That was just a hustle fall.
Sergio Lemley, now 4-4 in the Big Ten, 15-7 on the season. And this is where you knew, Tim, that the end was close.
Yeah, he adjusted, got chest to chest, but he had the chin, and there's nowhere to go.
So with that fall from Sergio Lemley, 6'6", as we turn the page to 149 pounds, it is our featured matchup sponsored by Rudis with Dylan Gilcher and Clayton Jones. And these guys were high school teammates at Detroit Catholic Central. And that brings us to our high school spotlights. Some of the great schools in Michigan. Detroit Catholic Central, what a phenomenal job they have done. So much history with Gilcher and Jones towing the line today.
You talk about the history. Yeah, Mitch Hancock, the current coach, done a great job. But I always think, I go way back, Mike Rodriguez, a 4-time Big Ten champion for Michigan, really put this program on the map, 40, 50 years ago, and it has not stopped producing great wrestlers.
Dylan Gilcher, 4-time state champion there at Detroit Catholic Central. And Clayton Jones won a pair of state titles. Got to be pretty cool wrestling your high school teammates. Sure, these guys have had many battles in that Detroit Catholic Central room.
Good pressure and recovery by Jones there. Working inside.
Gilcher's 8-6 on the season, coming off a loss to Shane Van Ness last Friday, 7-1. Clayton Jones, an exciting match with Andrew Clark of Rutgers this past Friday. Jones fell to the Scarlet Knight 14-10. Jones is 6-10, 2-5 in the Big Ten. 0-0, 140 remaining here in this first period. Jones again with his underhook. Gilcher's brother wrestles at Indiana. Derek Gilcher. Yeah. Shot there from Jones.
Yeah.
Looking to step over.
Good action by Jones there.
He's got some speed.
Yeah, and he used his ties really well. He got a little angle, and he shot. I say it all the time. A second's too long to wait. You've got about a quarter of a second when you have your tie and you see a little opening there, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to, whether it's the underhook, moving the head, you're just looking for that, just a right look, but you also have to have so many reps and understand it's got to be muscle memory because you got to go when the opportunity's there. It was a good job of defense by Gilcher.
25 seconds in a scoreless first period. Good start to this dual meet with Michigan and Michigan State.
Gilcher working on that 2-on-1, and Jones wanting to dig that same arm in for an underhook.
A lot of hand fighting in this first period. Detroit Catholic Central well represented in this dual meet. See the Spartans. Great representation. And of course, a lot of history with the Amines, Malik, Miles, and Cam.
Great picture of joy by our own Malik Amin there with his state championship.
Gilcher with the escape. Straight on shot there from Jones into that underhook. Good flurry on the edge.
Just great athleticism by Jones there. Good shots by both guys there. There's good action there. We don't have a lot of points on the board, but these guys are working to dictate their ties and their tempo. Jones has really been trying to put himself into wrestling position. He's not scared of getting in and just, saying, hey, let's find out what's going on. Has not come out with a takedown yet, but he has got into some flurries there that could end up being, if he keeps that kind of pressure and his shape's well, it's going to bode well for him.
Gilcher with the escape in this second period, the only score. We talked about 141 at the Big Tens, Tim. I'll let you figure out 149.
And a nice little duck action. Gilcher in, but the roll through by Jones. Hip pressure will be the key right here. Can Gilcher pull him in? He's not able to. Good defense by Jones. That was a nice shot by Gilcher.
Gilcher tries a trip. He corrals both ankles.
He does not give. They're out, and there's no takedown.
No score. Center.
They gave reaction time to Jones to come into the crotch there.
Let's go.
That's closer than you think right there. Boom. That looks really close to me, but they were able to, Jones was able to get then his into the crotch and defend, and the call was not made for a takedown.
Got take play.
Short time in the second period. Here's Jones with a late attack. But Gilcher will neutralize the shot from Jones, and the score remains 1-0.
Michigan State, your choice.
Choice goes to Jones. He's going to pick neutral. Talking about 149 at the Big Tens. Shane Van Ness, Kyle Parko of Iowa, Ridge Lovitz.
They've all beat each other. And so, Ridge Lovett beat Van Ness. Van Ness beat Parko. Major decision. And then Parko came back with a really impressive win against Ridge. And so, what are you asking me, Shane?
I told you to let you sort it out. But that is going to be a phenomenal weekend in Evanston. Great coverage here on the Big Ten Network. Want to ask you about this, Tim. So Clayton Jones
wrestle through all positions.
Picks neutral. Obviously he knows Gilcher extremely well and not confident to go on bottom.
Well, I think you just hit it. He's not confident to go on bottom. He is. He feels
or more confident on his feet.
And he feels confident about the almost that he's had there. What I love about him so far is he's been willing to put himself in a position, and then your creativity comes to light. So he's not scared to be creative.
No stall calls in this match.
Wrestle through this.
Jones has that underhook.
Stalemate.
But now, there's only a minute left.
You got to go now,
Yeah,
Tim.
you got to, if you've got to get it in a position, extend your wrestling and scoring opportunities. Give yourself time for the scoring opportunities.
Shot from Gilcher.
Yeah, I like that shot for a couple of reasons. I think that's your best defense when you get your offense going, but it's a clock eater. That just took about 15 seconds off the clock that Jones does not have an opportunity to mix it up. Right now, you got to mix it up if you're Jones. And you just got to go, hey, it's going to fall my way.
Go for it.
Yeah, you got to go for it. And it's not like it's throw the kitchen sink at him. He has had opportunities. He's been in. Get yourself in. Now you got to go.
Worst case scenario, you lose 4-0.
That's right.
Unless you go to your back, of course. Here's Gilcher with those
double overs.
And here's an attempted toss from Jones. Gilcher defends it.
And now you don't want to give up the...
Stalling green.
So he calls stalling for putting his hand out there. So the double overs was kind of a going for it, but Gilcher settled in.
Top
What he
cover.
did was anticipated, settled in, got the takedown.
One, neutral.
An escape for Jones. Takedown to tie it, but final seconds. Gilcher very aware of the situation. And it is going to be a 4-1 decision
Ready?
for Dylan Gilcher. The former high school teammates shake hands. On this day, it's Derek Gilcher with the decision. And with that, Michigan has taken the 9-6 lead. Coming up at 157 pounds, Chase Saldate makes his return to East Lansing. He toes the line next at 157. Sean Bohr-Metz, Kevin Jackson there on your left. So it will not be Chase Saldate. Walker will get the call instead. And Braden Stauffenberg, 4-13, a redshirt sophomore for Michigan State.
Okay, here we go, gentlemen. Foot on the line. Shake hands. Set.
Stauffenberg from Yorkville, Illinois, state champion at Aurora Christian, Fargo Greco champ in 2022.
Stauffenberg right away wanting to dictate the tempo and the ties there, looking for that left underhook. Once Walker wants to work from space, Stauffenberg wants to close the gap, get in, work from inside.
Walker from Mishawaka, Indiana. Brother Joseph is on the team. No score, 45 seconds in. Straight on shot from Walker and out of bounds.
Yeah, that straight on shot by Walker just plays right into what Stauffenberg wants, so he can throw his underhook and work from tight.
Walker, three-time Indiana State Place winner. Part of Mishawaka's 2023 Indiana State Team Championship. No score, over a minute into this first period.
Just enough defense by Walker not to get a stall call there. Braden Stauffenberg really putting the pressure on,
That's the end of the
stepping
grace on the edge.
forward.
You got to work harder to stay in the center. Set.
Of course, at this weight class, Chase Saldate, now with the Wolverines, spent 4 seasons at Michigan State, won a lot of matches in that Spartan singlets.
Came oh so close to being an All-American, and hoping that this is the year that he can do it for the Wolverines. Nice job of stopping Walker's shot there. And what Stauffenberg there was stuffed ahead and ran around, but Walker's got a shin whizzer there, and Walker gets his arm out. Stauffenberg gets his arm out, gets a takedown.
3-0 for the Spartan inside of a minute in this first period.
Good aggressive wrestling by Stauffenberg.
Stauffenberg, this past Friday, a 5-2 loss in sudden victory to Connor Hare of Rutgers, who's had a really good season for Scott Goodale and the Scarlet Knights.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm really impressed with Hare from Rutgers. He's fearless. I think we're going to hear a lot about him.
Hard collar tie there from Walker. Stauffenberg, last 2 seasons at 149, was the starter at this weight class a season ago. And here in short time, Walker with a good opportunity and a single leg, reaches for that opposite ankle, and Stauffenberg defends. There's Chase Saldate, 4-time national qualifier at Michigan State, round of 12 in 2023.
That was really good athleticism by Walker. Getting in, he just wasn't able to get Stauffenberg down, and they went out of bounds, but showed the athleticism of Walker there. And
Green, your choice.
Stauffenberg's got the choice, and he's going to go underneath.
Bottom set. Top cover.
Quickly works to his feet. And Walker will drop down to a single leg and out of bounds.
Easy, guys. Yep, you're good. Break easy. Work hard to stay on the mat, all situations.
Final Big Ten Conference matchup for both these teams.
Yep.
They will each wrestle Central Michigan. Michigan State wrestles them next Friday. The Wolverines next Sunday.
That was a nice job by Stauffenberg there. As he came up, he controlled the hands, and so he did it simultaneously. And a lot of times you come up to your feet and you leave your hands clasped. He was doing everything right, got the escape.
Got the quick escape early in the second period to extend his lead 4-1. Michigan State has not beaten Michigan here in East Lansing since 2007. A lot of hand fighting. Both guys, hard collar ties, heavy with the hands.
Keep your motion up, Ryan. Keep your motion up.
Yep.
Good job, Sarge. Great job. Keep that motion up.
Walker doing a good job of keeping
Stauffenberg
Stauffenberg away from what he wants. Right here, Stauffenberg wants to, get face to face, get that underhook in there, or have Walker come after him and catch him. And watch that that's not across the neck.
Right there, break easy on the neck, on the neck. Set.
See if either one of these two guys able to take some risks in the final half minutes. Stauffenberg with a fake.
There's that underhook. Nice reattack by Walker there, keeping himself away. That's what Stauffenberg wants. He wants him coming straight in. You're not going to score on Stauffenberg with a straight shot.
Walker trailing at 4-1 has his choice in this third period.
Your choice. Red selects down.
An escape, a takedown. Walker just an escape and a takedown from going ahead here. We'll see what Stauffenberg does on top.
Top cover.
I think there's a strength difference. I think Stauffenberg looks stronger, but Walker, like I said, is really athletic, but Stauffenberg is quick himself. A lot of pressure here on top. Nice job of bringing Walker down to his hips. Driving across, getting him to his belly, getting the inside wrist, and now a lot of pressure on him.
And the big thing, Tim, was Stauffenberg getting that quick escape last period. He's now got riding time over 35 seconds.
Right, and that was it was great technique by him and effort when he got out, and like you said, in short time. Now, because of this one breakdown, you got 20 seconds before the official's even going to get involved.
But I think it's just a totally different mentality. If you get that quick escape and they've only got a few seconds of riding time, that 60 seconds is far closer, as opposed to if a guy rides you for 40, 45, maybe you're not as committed in that top position.
No, you're exactly right, Shane. It's just a matter of math right there. I mean, you got a head start, and
don't bring up math, Tim. I was not good at math.
And but you're right. Stauffenberg understands now, and he's just taking it over the riding time. But that one initial work on top with the pressure and then the breakdown, that was a 30-second bonus right there given to him. And now you're there. You're close.
And not to mention what it does.
And what this does,
that top position taking a lot of energy out of you on bottom.
I mean, Stauffenberg hasn't been in this position often this year for the Spartans to get a win and take them into a break ahead. Or that's what would it be now within striking distance. 9-4 or 9-6 now. So it would be. What can he do here on top?
Both guys.
He's got riding time. It's 5-1.
30 seconds left. Blanketing in the top position. The riding time is locked up.
Now, Stauffenberg did a good job at dictating the entire pace of this match, and he has dominated this last period, all set up by the escape and then the opportunity to ride out.
With the riding time points, a 6-1 decision for Braden Stauffenberg, who picks up his first Big Ten dual meet victory.